Seconds out, delighted to be joined by Jason Welborn, former world title challenger and British middleweight champion, of course. How you doing, mate?
I'm alright, thanks. Great.
Been working today by the look of it?
Just stay in the yard, man. There's always something to do. Just pop down, just going for a run in a bit, just seeing the lads. Just keep an eye on everything you got away.
How much training have you been able to get done during the lockdown period? Have you got stuff at home that you've been able to use?
Yeah, well, we got some land up, some stables. I was doing a bit of running around there, and just I was doing nothing much because obviously there's no dates and there was other things. Obviously, I had my business to keep. Obviously, it was a scary time. Obviously, for small businesses like myself, just starting out. Them wagons that was parked up and the contract, we was classed down as key workers for Morrison's doing the utilities, the grab hire. So
Aye.
obviously we kept the wagon going. So we was my drivers. I kept busy. So we got through it like all as a team. We all got through it like, and my wife, she was sorting the stuff out. So the training side beginning, I was in camp January, February, beginning of March, ready for April. So obviously my fitness and my weight was coming down lovely, but then the month then you go off. We still ate well. Obviously, there was no takeaways in that though. So my wife was cooking all good. So I'm a clean liver. I ain't one of them who, yeah, we all like a drink, we all like a beer. You know what I mean? But I am a clean liver really. I am a bad liver. So other than that, the training side, I wasn't doing much. But when things started easing off about the last 3 weeks, I've started stepping it up like so. Sound.
When you got you got this opportunity for the Commonwealth title at middleweight, was the plan to come back at middle or were you planning to come back at super welter?
No, them super welterweight days. After my last fight with the Metcalf, I was done really well at middle. Obviously, with a British defended it, and we only dropped down to light middle. Obviously, when we got the offer with Jared Hurd, so obviously that's why we done that. And I did feel strong in that fight. It was just I lost my head. I threw that soft shot, and I fell onto a shot, and I didn't get up on the count, which I thought. I'm saying 8. You got to be up on your feet, hands up, ready to fight. But when we had no offers at middle, so it was Metcalf, and then it was a Commonwealth title, something what I haven't won. So we took that, and I tried hard for it. Obviously, I had a lot of things going on. I was messing around with the skips and everything then, but we're not doing the skips now. The skips was too much stress, to be honest with you. I'm concentrating more on the grab hire and the driveways and bits and bobs like that. So the skips was playing a lot of part in my training. My wife took a lot of stress off me, but that wore no excuse. I was fit for that fight. I was strong and I was dominating the fight. My hand went. It got nasty with the low blows and that. And I come out of that fight thinking, you know what? I don't need this softness no more with the boxing. That's how I felt. And like so, I war really gonna get back into if it were for my wife. And she was saying, Jay, you could go out on that fight. She knew I wore on. She goes, why am I going out on a fight like that? It's don't hate the sport. At the end of the day, you've been good for the sport. Do what you got to do. And there's plenty. I'm 34, just gone, and I'm fit. I ain't been knocked about. I've had some hard fights, but I'm fit. I'm a fit young lad, and I always have been. And so I might as well use these last few fights and get the much out of this boxing and go out on a better than I have done my last fight. So when we had the Felix Cash fight come up at middle and the belt, what we should have wanted last time, what we wanted to win, um, it was a no-brainer. But there was talks of a fight at the end of August against that Keema, one of the European champion, a bit Frankie Gavin. Um,
Leharaga.
yeah, there was talks about him in Spain the end of the month in Marbella. So I went, oh, that's sound. That I got a bit more time, like whatever, but they wanted it to like 11-2. And I'm thinking, catch weight. So I thought, you know what, Eddie earns Matchroom Bill. I like working with Eddie. So
And it's a main
it was
event as well.
that's what I mean. And we don't know about that, like, so it's a fight wherever it is or whatever it is. It don't matter if I've got to put 110% into it, and I've got to just enjoy it in there. And when I start enjoying the sport and I'm enjoying it in there, that's when that nasty Jason Welborn comes out in the ring. What what upsets a lot of fighters.
Out of the defeats you've had in your career, just from memory, I'd say about half have come from body shots. Is that a concern in that you worry opponents are going to target that because they've seen it in your past?
The body shot, it's out of the body shot. It's like I've been stopped a couple of times and it was with body shots, but there's always been a problem. There's no excuses. Obviously, if I lose, I lose. It's one of them. Boxing's boxing. Anything can happen. But obviously, the likes of the Liam Smith fight, the low blow before that shot, what done the damage. And obviously, I had 2 weeks' notice for Liam Smith. I'm a totally different fighter. Whether I'd had a 12 weeks cam, would I have bet him? Who knows? But the thing is, I had 2 weeks' notice with that fight, pack my job in and box. People don't understand what you had to do. Same as the Frankie Gavin. That's why when I've found my weight, I've had sponsorships, I've had that, and I'm competing with people who are at my level and their level, and I'm doing what they do day in, day out as a pro. You've seen the difference in me. And my first proper camp was Marcus Morrison. And I had 6 weeks' notice off work, and I turned him over. And I come out that ring and I was like, bloody hell. Because I've had a camp and I had everything what normal fighters have, a fair chance and a proper camp. And I felt good, and I've carried on that, picked up the British, and we've gone on from there. So it's a shame really, like, but I'm proud of my career. I'm proud of what I've done. I've done it the hard way. I've worked, I've boxed 10 rounders, Midlands titles. I've defended the Midlands 5 times. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of fights, but Errol Johnson was only doing small shows now. BCB have got involved. He's working with bigger people. So the up and coming boxers now, they've got it better to be working the likes with Eddie Earns and going down them roads. And that's what black country fighters need, because we don't get that much publicity, and like having the top promoters at the back of it, we've got to really like work hard in the small halls to get noticed. So Errol's done well. Errol's done well at the minute, and he's doing well. And like I said, I've moved trainers. I'm down at Rich Against Gym now, so I'm picking up on little things. So I just needed a bit of spar to get back. But we need these big fights now, because I don't just want to go out now and just go. I want to be nice to win. I'm confident. Every fight I go in, I'm confident I'm going to win. You know what I mean? I never try to think, oh, this. There's no point. I'd rather just say, I'll leave it now. Like, I mean, I'd crack on with my wagons and be comfortable, earn a living, and you know what I mean, I'm happy with everything. So it's just me getting back in that ring and seeing I enjoy it. And he's a prospect. He's a matchroom fighter, his own fighter, something what I've been in with before. But I think at my level now, I've got the experience. Whoever you put in front of me now, I've got the experience, obviously, to adapt whatever I'm going to bring to the table. And I think at middle, I'm confident I can stand toe to toe with anyone at middleweight.
What do you make of him from what you have seen of Felix Cash so far? And what do you think will be the difference in the fight? What's the key advantages you've got?
So what I've said, I've watched. I think I've watched about 4 or 5 rounds of him when he fought that Cullen, and that's all I've seen him fighting. Like, catched him. He looks like you've got a bit of a dig on him, but he come back that Cullen and he was boxing him, and when he was on his back foot, he don't like it. You know what I mean? He don't like it. So I think at the end of the day, people like them, you just got to get stuck into him and let them know this is it. And when it gets hard, is he going to come through it? You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm coming to win. I'm coming to, whether the other fighters have come to win and they're in the position what, like, obviously they've had to like juggle work and juggle it. But you know what? Whatever happens that night, I'm coming there when that bell goes, and I'm giving for him. Yeah, you know I mean, I'm giving for him. So he might have to stick to his boxing a little bit.
What do you make of the whole fight camp setup in the Matchroom HQ back garden and not having any fans there as well? What do you make of all that?
I looked into it. At the end of the day, we've just been coming out of the lockdown. And I think at the end of the day, he's put the show on. I've heard is the people going to be there with a couple hundred, but I've heard there's no one going to be there. So it don't matter to me. At the end of the day, it's still a camp. It's still a fight. There's a title on the line. His career's on the line, and my career's on the line. So he don't want to be rebuilding, and like I don't want to be. I've got to win to progress, and I ain't looking past him. So I've got to fear that fighter, because at the end of the day, I'm getting back in that ring thinking, do I want to do this? You know what I mean? I've got to win that title to say, someone like Eddie, to think, you know what? If we had Welborn, there's still a few good fights with him. And then that's what I need. And then I'd get that spark back then. So I need to win this to get to where I want to get. And then we can push like the European or something like that. And I think, you know what, then if you give me 12 months, if I could win this and give me 12 months at the game, win a European, I'd be happy. If someone else comes after, it comes. I mean, it's all written out in the stars. But I'm determined enough. Once I get that chance and I get that offer, I'll put 110% into it, whatever I do. I always do.
And is it mainly now, when you look at what's left of your career, is it mainly now for personal satisfaction? Because like you say, you've got a thriving business, you're pretty comfortable. Is it mainly just to get something for yourself and to fulfill your own potential?
Yeah. Well, the money was it take the money. I took the fight for the money. Like Commonwealth and that level, you ain't going to earn. You ain't earning millions. You know what I mean? Obviously, every payday, everything's nice, and us boxers, we earn it. If we've got an 8-week camp, you take out everything. You know what I mean? But we don't see like that. But with my work wise, I can sit there in my wagons and I can go and drive the wagons myself, and I can be comfortable. You know what I mean? And I'm a growing company. You know what I mean? I want Welborn Mobile Limited to obviously expand, but obviously I've still got my boxing here. So I was thinking, is it one or the other? And after my last fight, it was like, forget the boxing. I don't need this. You know what I mean? I've done what I got to do. A lot of fights. I had 7 amateur fights. You know what I mean? I boxed at 12 stone, and you know, obviously I've spoke to you before with the Gavin fight, and to be honest, I never took. I love the boxing, but I didn't have the guidance when I was young to get me into the amateur gyms, and I was playing around in the kickboxing gyms, just doing boxing and messy. It all went tits up when I was young, and then I found a pro gym. So I was 19 and I went straight pro. So these fights now, I'm learning as a pro, and I think now, the last 2 years, I'm the best I'm ever going to be as a pro, because I've adapted well as a pro, and I don't know how to bounce about and do all this and do that. I'm still learning all the while. Again, I've picked up little habits, and I'll still be learning when I retire. You never stop learning. So I think my career has done well. A lot of these amateurs, they have loads of fight amateurs that get pro, and I'm now good. I mean, I've won a British title. There's some top prospects, they even won a British title. So I've got the WBC, Midlands, British Masters. You know what I mean? I've boxed for a world title. So I was happy enough to come. I didn't even want to do the Metcalf fight. It was because it was for a Commonwealth title. I was thinking, oh, the wife looks, because you got to get that belt. You got to get that belt. So it was like a family thing. Like, come on, let's do it. I missed out Disneyland the 2 weeks before, so I had a lot going on. We paid for Disneyland, and like 2 weeks before the fight, I was at home. We had to send Rachel's mom. So it was a bad time, really, like, and it was just a bad fight, and it was terrible. And boxing, I don't want to feel like that with a boxing, because it's a lovely sport, and I've met some great people in the sport, and it's done well. I've done well out of it. So if we can get this fight, and like, you mean, I want the win. I want the win, and like you say, I'm sacrificing my work. I'm sacrificing everything for this fight. You know what I mean? For the next, we've got 6-7 weeks now,
yeah.
And obviously work's coming in now. I've took another driver on today, so to play my role. So I've got a side step now, and like, we've played about at the training for the last couple of weeks, ticking over, but shit gets real now in the sparring. And then, you know what I mean, when you make it the next morning, I could be jumping in grab wagons and messing about, because it's one or the other, and I want to give it, for the time what I've got now, 100%, and hopefully we just bring the title back to the Black Country, and we can do something with Eddie on my next fight.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, I wish you the very best of luck, of course. And not just for this fight, but going forward as well. You don't need any luck outside the ring by the looks of it, but certainly inside. Hope it all goes well for you. Appreciate your time, and look forward to watching the fight on the 14th.
Yeah, no, it was anytime, Dan, man. Good to speak to you again.
Cheers, mate. You take care, and I'll see you soon.
Top man. Thank you.
And you.